Hi guys, this is Sam and today I'm going to be setting up my bullet journal for the month of January. For this month, I wanted everything to look extra happy, so I decided to go for a stars theme. And when I think happy, the first color that comes to mind is yellow, so that's going to be the color that I'm going to be using throughout the entire month of January. And for the cover page, I kept it pretty simple. I just put the name of the month in the middle and I did a frame with some stars. On the page next to my cover, I put my monthly overview, and for me this spread is super simple because I only use it to put the main things that are happening that month. So what I did here is put the title and I decorated it with stars and yellow to keep it within the theme, and then I wrote down the dates of the month vertically, and that gives me enough space to put 1 or 2 things per day if I need to, if something big is happening that day. However, I do know that my bullet journal tends to be a little bit extra. So if you like to keep yours simple, what I would recommend is just to skip your monthly overview altogether, because the next spread that I am making is actually where most of my monthly planning takes place. So if I were to go with only one, I would do this one. So with that being said, on this spread, as you can see, I am drawing a full traditional calendar, and I made the boxes pretty big. They are 6 spaces long and 5 spaces wide, and that gives me enough space to write inside of the boxes whatever is going on that day. Especially due dates for school, I like to write them all down in this calendar view and color coordinate them by class. On this spread, I also have a section for my goals that I have for that month and a section to write notes. The next spread that I'm gonna make is my habit tracker. I used to do habit trackers when I first started bullet journaling, but it only lasted a couple of months because I just wouldn't keep up with them. But for this year, I am trying to stick with one because I think this is a great spread to have in your bullet journal and I want to be consistent with it. I'm not going to be tracking a lot of things because I don't want it to become overwhelming. And I set it up as a chart. I put my habits on the top and the numbers of the month on the side. And I really like how it turned out. I will say though, it was kind of tedious to draw all of those lines and my pen did end up smudging. But I'm really happy with the end result and I think I'm going to keep up with my habit tracker. So to me, that's all that matters. Next to my habit tracker, I decided to put a gratitude log. This is the very first time that I do this, and I think that writing one thing that you're grateful for every day is a pretty easy thing to do, and I think it's a wonderful thing to do. So I'm excited to try this spread out and hopefully continue it throughout the year. The spread itself is really easy. I just put the title and then below it I numbered 1 through 31 to represent the days of the month, and that's it. I just decorated it. The next thing I'm doing is setting up my weekly spreads, and I usually do a 2-page spread for each week, but the first week of January I really don't have a lot of things to do, so I'm keeping it simple and saving time and space and doing a 1-page spread. So basically I am drawing a line for every 5 spaces, and the extra space I'm using it for decoration, as you can see. And I made those little flags to put the date in for each of the days. The second week of January, I still don't have a lot going on because it's the first week of school and usually I don't get a lot of homework. So I'm also doing a 1-page spread, but this one is a little bit different. I made it kind of like boxes, but I only put the top line so that you don't see an actual structured box. But basically it's 7 spaces down and 11 across with 4 spaces in between each of the days that are next to each other. From the 3rd week of January and on, I already know that I'm going to have a lot more work, so I will need a 2-page spread. And I'm going to do the same one for the remaining weeks of January because I actually love this one. I feel like it's very efficient and it makes you very productive. Spread fits 4 days on one page and 3 on the one next to it, and I do divide it into 2 because I find the planning to be easier that way. On the small one I put due dates, and on the big one I put my to-do lists for that day. Just in case you want to recreate this spread, the bigger part of the day is 9 by 18 spaces and the small one is 9 by 8 spaces. And like I said, this is the way I set up the remaining weeks of January. The only thing that changed was the way I decorated them. For this one I just did some flags, and for the other ones I changed it up a little bit, but essentially the structure is the same for all of them. That is it for today's plan with me video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and happy planning!